So I've got to ask, and I want your opinion on this, because I feel like it's a really fascinating moment with Bungie. It's kind of a twofold question. First of all, they've built up Savathun, and Savathun is such an incredible villain.
Probably the best, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, no question. She is the most iconic villain in all of Destiny's history.
That we haven't even seen yet.
Yeah. Do you think we'll actually see her at some point? And perhaps even further to that, do you actually believe that we can kill Savathun? Because I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, this is the god of trickery. There's no way that she doesn't pull a Loki at the end of Thor 1 and just feign death and then come back later in some other kind of form. Or maybe pull an Oryx and just be like, haha, surprise, I'm in touch of malice. I've always been in the winning position. Now you go win for me. I'm going to retire inside this ball. That's not actually what happens, but you kind of get the idea, right? Like,
retire.
Is there we have retired you into a weapon.
That is never used ever, except for in one raid. That is the most useless gun. So we asking if I think we'll see Savathun before Witch Queen?
If you think we'll see Savathun at all. I know that sounds a little crazy, but we've never seen her. And in lots of instances where characters do see her, she has this really deceptive thing where she actually hides her appearance and doesn't show herself visibly to any of the characters there.
I think I'm honestly like 50-50 because it's one of the least predictable elements of Bungie storytelling. Because I genuinely like the way they've built Savathun up. It definitely does seem like this isn't a cookie cutter Oryx. Like this is just a villain, raid boss. You take her out, and that's it. It does. I definitely foresee. And Bungie have talked about Witch Queen being like a lot bigger and much more different, and they're doing a lot of things they've never done before. And you know, it's been delayed as well. So you know, you would imagine there's a lot of resources going into it. It's going to be a very big, exciting expansion, I think. But I genuinely like I wouldn't be surprised if there's some weird twist going on where like just something happens. I just don't think it's going to be as simple as she's the raid boss, go and kill her, job done. Like I feel like there's going to be some weird stuff with either Ziva or Wrath, the Marisov, the Queen. I feel like something's going to happen where like either we'd work with her, maybe she's just like finds a way to ally with us, maybe we end up teaming up with her to fight Zivu. I just feel like there's something, or maybe it's just some weird thing where she turns out to be this other character, you know, not Eris, but like turned out to be this character all along. I just feel like they're going to do something really, really weird. Because again, like she's master of trickery, and even the writers, I remember them talking about how she's not just going to obviously just be a big bad villain and just like show herself. Like I just. The real answer is I don't know, but I do feel like they're not just going to go the predictable route of just like here's an enemy, and I feel like I don't know, something weird. The main thing I can't figure out is like Zivu, because that's like the other sister who is, you know, also very, very, very powerful. So I'm kind of wondering how, and you know, they introduced her in the season of The Hunt. So I'm wondering, like, I feel like maybe like what if the two sisters fight? Like, would they be on the same side? Do you think?
It's a good question, because the way the Hive work, they are technically all on the same side, but their side also dictates that, you know, only the strongest is allowed to survive. And I mean, it even goes as far as the Hive having a phrase saying, "This love is war and war is love." You know, they'll literally backstab and betray each other to the point of extremes as a way of helping to make each other stronger. So I think Oryx laughs at one point in the Books of Sorrow about how, I want to say it's Shiva Wrath or Savathun, one of his other sisters, literally detonates a planet, a war moon that he's residing on at the time being, just to kill him.
Yeah, they killed each other a lot, didn't they?
Yeah, and you know, he laughs at this thing, right? And he laughs at it partly because of the fact that it's a waste of a war moon, you know, perfectly good planet fortress that we could have used as the Hive, you know, this interstellar armada. But also he laughs because it actually was genuinely an act of love in their kind of strange way, because it taught him to be stronger.
They're like, oh, you impressive, good one.
Right? It taught him to survive an exploding planet, you know? And it's one of these moments of saying, no one else would have done that for me. No one else was strong or crazy enough to throw a planet at me yet. So whenever the next person yeets a planet at me, I'll be able to counter it now. Thank you very much. That was a generous gift of you teaching me how to survive. You know, it's such a strange way of looking at it. But I mean, like, you know, like
Hive are weird creatures.
Right? Like, so there's that point of saying, yes, they'd absolutely be pitting against each other to an extent, but they serve the same overarching principles. So it's one of those things of, if Hive Knights of Savathun and Hive Knights of Shivor Wrath are dropped into an arena and there's a Guardian, every Hive Knight, regardless of which Hive God they really work for, is going to be charging that Guardian. It doesn't matter what's going on. That's just the way it's going to be, you know? So
yeah, I just think some weird stuff. I think some weird plot twists are going to happen that nobody. I'm sure some people have predicted. There's a lot of theories, but I think there definitely is going to be some major plot twists that nobody saw coming for sure. Which is why I'm so probably the most interested in Savathun and the Witch Queen story, because I do think it's going to be like we said. Bungie is in the whole history of Destiny. They've never had such a long running narrative of one character before. So I think, I'm just, got my popcorn ready. I'm waiting to see what they do, but genuinely, I have no idea, which is what makes it interesting, because we've kind of gone from the days of just, here's a big bad alien bad guy, kill him, job done, cool, you saved the day, Guardian. Now it's just all the enemies and threats are just weird and convoluted, and there's morality and ethics, and there's like Keitel and Mithrax, and they're just kind of they're throwing a lot of spanners in the works in terms of enemies that used to be enemies that are now kind of like friendly, and it's just the story is just going in so many random good directions, but just random unpredictable directions. And